Morning YouTube, this is Taraz24 giving you another Yugi update. The deck I've been working with recently as of now are Gravekeepers. Not so bad as to use the spellcaster strategy, but I've implemented my own just because, you know, it kind of fits into what I wanted out of the deck and so forth. So, let me go ahead and go to the deck. Of course, the deck is simple. Gravekeepers. When you think of Gravekeepers, you think of Necro Valley. When you think of Necro Valley, you think of Gravekeepers. And cards that will benefit only you and your hand and not your opponent. So they will have to lose a hand. But I'll show you how that works anyway. Alright, I have 2 Gravekeepers Descendant. It's another one in here somewhere. It just kind of got mixed up. 2 Gravekeepers Descendant. 1 Gravekeeper Chief. 1 Gravekeeper Spear Soldier. Gravekeeper's Commandant. Works just like Terraforming for a monster. He's very good. But for Necro Valley. Gravekeeper's Cannon Holder. Gravekeeper's Priestess. She acts as Necro Valley while she's on the field. And all Gravekeeper monsters gain additional 200 attack and defense. Only if Necro Valley is not on the field, this effect applies. 3 Gravekeeper's Guard. I don't even have to go in explanation with these. Defense, and they can bounce a monster. Gravekeeper's Assailant. 3 of them. Used to take out high attacking monsters with low defense. Of course, when he declares an attack while Necro Valley is on the field, the monster can have its battle position changed before the attack is connected. 3 Gravekeeper Spy. I don't even have to go into explanation for these. Miller, defense. With Necro Valley on the field, they're pretty darn high. And they allow you to special summon another Gravekeeper, level 4 lower, from your deck. Well, actually, not level 4 lower, with 1500 attack. And all Gravekeeper monsters have 1500 attack or less, except for the higher ups, which is Chief and Visionary. I put the End of Anubis in here, just because, you know, the main emphasis is it's more like an Egyptian kind of deck, so to speak, and Anubis has played a part in, you know, the Gravekeeper role. He does prohibit my opponent from touching the graveyard, which most people tend to do anyway in most of the games of Yu-Gi-Oh. You have Gravekeeper's Visionary. Gravekeeper's Visionary is a very good card. If it's somehow destroyed, it can be protected with sacrificing another Gravekeeper from the hand. He gains 200 attack points for every Gravekeeper in the graveyard, and he can reach an insanely high attack with the Gravekeepers in your graveyard, keeping Gravekeepers in your hand, making your opponent, you know, forcefully use their cards, and or if they try to attack, you know, you can make yourself stronger and they'll be stuck in a predicament. And with Necro Valley, it gets an additional plus 500 attack points because he is a Gravekeeper. I do have, like I said, it is an Egyptian kind of deck, so I added the Egyptian God cards, Slifer the Sky Dragon, Obelisk the Tormentor, and the Winged Dragon of Ra. That's because Gravekeepers can get the monsters needed on the field, and since you need 3 monsters in order to summon each one of these, and each one of these, while they're on the field, they have a very nice, hefty effect. I've used Slifer and Obelisk at most times. Raw, he still comes in whenever he wants. So it's all depending on how the field is set up for each one of these. There's your monsters. Let me go into spells. Necro Valley at 3, staple. Soul Exchange, used for either Anubis or the Egyptian God cards, because like I said, they can get 3 monsters on the field, and especially if all you have to do is sacrifice one of your opponents. With Gravekeeper Spy, special summon, and then your opponent has a monster, you can sacrifice, and if you have a god, summon it. Royal Tribute, I saw that this helped me so many times in games. I only added 1, but now I think I'm going to be stingy and add 2 now, because, you know, when my opponent doesn't have monsters in their hand, their strategy falls apart. Very highly good staple, so I might just go ahead and say 2, man. Just 2. Allure of Darkness, they're all dark monsters. Help you draw. Dark Hole, monster clearance. Trap cards, Windstorm of Aqua. Buying time is the main point here. This doesn't cost anything, and it just changes all battle positions on my opponent's side of the field instead of mine, regardless if they're effect or not. Curse of Anubis changes all effect monsters, which they are also in my deck, and the majority of Yu-Gi-Oh is involving effect monsters to defense mode. They lose defense points, and it goes up. Their defense goes down to 0, which has a nice hefty chaining card here. Tragedy. When their defense, when a monster has been changed to defense position, you destroy all defense position monsters. Basically, my opponents. I can forcibly do that with Curse of Anubis or Windstorm. Reckless Greed, 3. I don't even know if I'm going to have 3 of these in here anymore, but still, it's good to have some type of draw power. Mirror Force. Do I have to explain? Waboku. Do I really have to explain? And finally, Negate Attack. Protection. The deck has enough traps, spell, and monsters in order to last out. Now, I was thinking of adding Gravekeeper Stele, so I can get some of those monsters added back to my hand for Visionary. But I only have 1 Visionary at the moment. Eventually, I will probably fine-tune it. But other than that, the deck is pretty fun. It doesn't have to be competitive, but I do like seeing my opponent sweat. So, there you have it. My Gravekeeper deck. My Gravekeeper Egyptian deck, I should say. Got the idea from Merrick and those tombkeepers. Since, you know, they basically were the ones supposed to watch the Egyptian god cards. And you have the Anubis is kind of chilling down there as well. Yeah, but other than that, Gravekeepers, man. They're pretty good. Thank you for watching. If you like it, leave your comments down below. And other than that, duel.